Hello everyone, and this is the lecture series of Operation Research subject, and the code of this subject is MA405. This is the BTech 7th Sem Mechanical Engineering subject, and here unit number is running second, and the lecture number in the unit number 2 is 11. Today I will discuss about the sequencing problem. These problem related to the transportation topic, and for my introduction, myself Rahul Kumar, Assistant Professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. And as per you know, what is sequencing problem? And this sequencing problem related to the different type of main machine working procedure, and here how to minimize the machine time, how to minimize the machine time if you want to work at different types of job at the same time in the different machine. So how to reduce the time of the machine, and what the optimization method behind this. So this type of study cover under sequencing problem. The objective of this topic is here the student able to understand about the concept of sequencing problem. Concept of the sequencing problem means how to manage the different machines in one workshop, and understand the problem solving techniques by Johnson method. Here different types of method are used, but today I will discuss only Johnson method. And the main objective of this chapter is reduce the machine time. Reduce the machine time. This is the main objective. So come to the introduction part of this problem. So main question arises here: what is sequencing? Or what is sequencing? Sequencing means it creates the randomness to a one sequencing order, right? And by this method we optimize the time, and cost. If time and cost both are optimized, then profit is also good. Then profit is also good means it can define the number of machine or equipment. It can define the number of machine or equipment, how it will work, and it gives the finite number of service facilities, facilities in the sense of how much number of items are required to complete this job within a minimum time, right? And how many jobs is created within a short duration of time. And this method also select the different manufacturing industries. Means suppose I will give one example, just like as a in the workshop, one plate. Suppose this is a one plate. Here some finishing operation is required, and drilling operation is also required, and some grooving operation is also required. So first, which job you want to first do? So this type of order given by sequencing method. This type of order means order of work given by the sequencing method, which minimize the cost and time also, right? For the introduction of this sequencing problem, means here the selection of the definite order for a series of job to be completed, a finite number of machines in some pre-assigned order, in some pre-assigned or some pre-decided orders. This is called sequencing method. This is called the sequencing method. Suppose here I will give one more example. Suppose in one workshop or one industry which is producing many types of products, product, but these product these these product of production have a different types of machine and different types of number of codes, and finite in numbers is also required. So for this purpose, general sequencing problem we have defined here. Let here is n number of jobs to be performed on at the time of each machine. The sequence of order of this machine, just you perform like as a which job takes the minimum time, and the actual expected time required by the job for the each machine. And the general sequence problem therefore is to find the sequence out, n possible sequence, which minimize the total elapsed time between the start of the job then end of the operation of the job also. Means first you start from first machine to last machine also, right? So how much time taken to complete the one job? So this type of problem we will solve in this chapter, and these are assumptions I have taken for solving the different types of man machine related problem by the sequence method. First is, each job once started on a machine, if first job is not completed, then you did not start the second job. So this is the first assumption. For the second case, processing time of each machine is known. And this is independent of the order of job in which they are to be completed here. And the time taken by each job changing over from one machine to another machine is negligible. Means if you want to complete this machine, suppose this is a one job, this is a second job. If you complete this operation, then you go to second machine. So ideally time to transform the workpiece from one shop to another shop, this is a negligible time, right? And this is called the ideal time of this machine, right? And these are the assumptions I will take here for solving the better sequencing problem. And these some points are also okay. These some points are some more points for this if any machine starts one job, if any machine starts one job, so this job is not completed, then you will not do any other type of work. You will not do any other type of work, means next job is not created in one machine, or no machine may process more than one job at a time. At a time means, it means you can do only one job in one machine at the same time, and that order of completion of job has no significance. That is, here is no priority of job, means first you find the sequence, of the job, then you only do work with the help of sequence. Then no priority basis job is required, and no any extra work is required for this job, and the order of completion of the job is independent of sequence of the job also, independent of the sequence of the job also. So these are the some assumptions I have taken in this problem, in this sequencing problem, right? And these are the basic terms. These are some basic terms we have used here. The basic terms of number of machines, processing order, and processing time. These are number of machine, processing order, and processing time. So what is the number of machine? Okay, number of machine gives the how many machines in the workshop in working condition, which gives the how many numbers of machines in the workshop in working condition, which uh, which complete the job, or complete the job also. And then processing order, it refers to the order in which given machine are required for completing the to completing the job, or it provide a one order, means suppose in your workshop different types of machine, means first is one lathe machine, drilling machine, milling machine, and shaper machine also. So first you complete the job in lathe machine, then you, if in the lathe machine job is not completed, then you will not move to the milling machine also. So first you complete the job in lathe machine, then you move to drilling machine also, then move to, if your in your job holes are completed, then you move to milling machine, and then move to shaper machine also. So it means it gives the one order. Processing order means it gives the one order to do the work in minimum time, and the processing time gives the, or which indicates the how much time taken to complete one job, in one, in each machine, right? This is a processing time. Then next is total elapsed time, and the total elapsed time, this is the time of interval between, means first machine is job completed, and the second to start the do job, and it gives a one definite time interval between the first is job completed and second is start, right? Second is start of the job. And the ideally time of on a machine, ideally time that means at the first case of the work, or best example in the morning time, means first job is prepared, then all machine are in ideal, condition, because if first job is completed, then this job move to the second machine, and second job is completed, then this job move to the third machine also. So if first job is not completed, then at the same time second and third machine both are in ideal case, both are in working as a ideal case. Means for the second and third machine have no any job, and this is the at this at this time is related to the ideal time on a machine, and this ideal time from the end of job I minus 1 to start from a job I, right? Suppose I is a job, then the ideal time is I minus 1. Next is processing time. Processing time related to the means time required to complete the job in one machine or each machine also. And no passing rule, it refers to the rule maintaining the order. Means no passing rules means it refers to the rule of maintaining the order in which jobs are to be proceed on a given machines, right? So these are the some definitions related to basic terms. First one is number of machine, processing order, processing time, total elapsed time, ideal time on a machine, and next one is processing time and no passing rules. No passing rule. These are the different different definition which are used in this lecture, or by the help of these definitions we can solve the sequencing problem. And this is the processing n jobs through two machines only. Here the processing is n jobs through two machine only. Here let there be n jobs and each of which is to be processed through two machines. Suppose n jobs completed in two machines. So here is two machines and these machines are M1 and M2. These machines are M1 and M2 in order M1 and M2, that is each job has to pass through the same sequence. Each job has to pass through the same sequence of operation. Means first you want to complete a lathe operation, then drilling, then milling, then boring, right? This type of operation you want to do here in two machines only. First you uh, tapering operation, then drilling operation, right? Here is two machines only. Or the job is assigned on first M1 machine, and then if it has been completed in the machine M1, then next task is assigned to the machine 2, and this machine is M2. If the machine M2 is not free, right? At the same time, if machine M2 is not free, then job has to wait in a waiting line. Job is wait in the waiting line for its turn to complete the machine M2, right? Then let here Tij, here Tij I equal to time for first machine completion of the first machine job, means 1 comma 2 and JHD 1 2 dot 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 n with the time required to processing jth job on the ith machine, jth job on the ith machine. Since passing is not allowed, therefore machine M1 will remain busy in processing and n jobs by one while machine M2 may remain ideal after completion of the job and before starting of another job. thus the thus the main objective is to minimize the ideal time. Means what is ideal time? If you complete the first machine job, suppose this is the first machine job, this is the second machine job. So first you complete this job, and then if second machine is not free, then you do not move the workpiece from first to second. So at the same, at that time, you what are you doing? Then only doing is here wait. So this waiting time is the ideal time of the machine, right? And next definition here, let 2j be the time for which machine M2 remains ideal after finishing the job j minus 1th job, and which is before starting the processing of jth job. Then j equal to machine job, just like the j equal to 1 2 dot 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 3 and n. Then the total elapsed time t is here summation of I equal to 1 to next and t 2I plus summation of I equal to 1 to n and x 2j, right? So these are the problem related to the how to minimize the time or how to calculate the total elapsed time is here. So however, since I equal to 1 to second, then t 1 is the total time for which machine M2 has to work and is thus fixed. It does not form a part of the optimization problem. It does not form a part of the optimization problem. So these are the different types of rule used in this to find the optimization time by the sequencing problem. And these are some common rules also used here. First one is FCFS, SPT, EDD and CR. EDD and CR. What is the FCFS? What is the FCFS? This is the first come, first serve basis. Means first come, first serve basis. This gives the which suppose it means if you go to the any industry at the time of morning, at that time no machine is working condition. So if you go to first, then your job is first complete. If you go to last, then your job in at the last completion. This is called a LIFO, or the different types of statements are here. And the SPT is the shortest processing time. This is the shortest processing time or scheduled first job, right? And EDD, this is the earliest due date. This is the job or sequence according to their due dates. Means if suppose this one pen is made within 2 days. So before 2 days you have completed this work, right? So it is 2 days you will complete this work. So this is the earliest due date. And this CR is the critical ratio. CR is the critical ratio. It computes the ratio of processing time of the job and remaining time until the due date, and schedule the job with the largest CR value. Schedule the job with the largest CR value next, right? So these are the some problem related to common sequencing rule, right? And then move to the next problem, two work center sequencing. By this method here, Johnson's rule are applicable. And this is a one technique which gives the minimize completion time of the different type of group of job, of the different type of group of job to be processed on two machines or at two work center. And Johnson's rule gives the different types of conditions. First, it minimizes the total idle time. And the several conditions must be satisfied here. Several conditions for the job is here satisfied, and this condition given in the next slide. First is job time must be known and constant. Means, if you want to complete this turning operation within 10 minutes, then this is a 10-minute job completion time is 10 minutes is constant for this work. So job must be independent of sequence. Job must be independent of sequence, and job must follow same two-step sequence. Job must follow same two-step sequence, and job priority cannot be used, right? And this type of assumptions I have discussed in the previously, and job priority is not required here. And all units must be completed at the first work center before moving the second. All units must be completed at the first work center before moving the second. Means first job is completed, then this job move to the second machine. Otherwise, first is not completed. Then at that time, second machine is a ideal condition, right? Set as a ideal condition. So these are the some rules given by Johnson's method, and one here is sequencing problem. Sequencing problem divided into four types. Sequencing problem divided into four types. First one is one machine many job, two machine many job, three machine many job, and many machine many job also. Many machine many job also. So here is a different types of sequencing problem. So these are divided into four. Here we solve one problem. So this problem related to one machine many jobs, and the total time is independent of sequence, and sequencing minimize ideal time. This is the motto, or this is the aim of this scheduling process. And two machine and many job means all the job follow the Johnson's rule. All the job follow the Johnson's rule, and jobs have different sequence. Jobs have different sequence, and Johnson's three machine rule are used here. Johnson's three machine rule are used here for this purpose, right? And then for the Johnson's rule, it is divided into three steps. For the Johnson's rule divided into three steps: step 1, step 2, and step 3 also. And it gives the one procedure that minimize the ideal time. When the scheduling process goes to the two or more machines or two or more workstations, then what is the step 1? What is the step 1 is here? Step 1, find the shortest processing time. In the step 1, find the shortest processing time. The jobs not at schedule. The jobs are not at schedule. If two or more jobs are tied, choose one job arbitrary. Means two or more job is tied, then one job is arbitrary and one job is working condition. Then move to the step number 2. If shortest processing time in on workstation 1, then schedule to the corresponding job as early as possible for the means finish the work at the machine 1 as soon as possible. If the shortest processing time is on the workstation 2, then the sequence the corresponding job as late as possible, right? And go to the step number 3. Estimate the last job schedule. From further consideration, and for this process you repeat step 1 and 2 until all jobs have to be scheduled. So these are the 3 steps related to the Johnson's rule method. So go to the next slide. This is a one example. This is a very good example. In this example, two workstation are given. First workstation is workstation 1 and workstation 2. Here different types of jobs are M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. These are the motors. And what the sequence of this? How to find the sequence? So in the workstation, 1 and 2, first you find the this workstation problem solved by the Johnson's rule method. So for solving this problem, first you obtain the sequence. So here you write workstation 1 job, workstation 1, and here you can write the 2B job, right? Workstation 2 job. So first you consider in the workstation 1 what is the minimum time period. What is the minimum time period for the which machine? So M2 machine given a minimum time period, this is a 4 hour. So you write here M2. So write here M2 and then cross this line, right? Then move to the right hand side. For the right hand side, see here in the workstation 2. In the workstation 2, here is the minimum time is here 3 is the minimum time. So you can write here M3 in this step and then cross this line. Then move to here right hand side. In the right hand side, what the minimum value? So 8 is the minimum value for machine, for motor M5, so you can write M5 here, right? M5 here, and then so at this time M2 cross, M3 cross, and M5 is cross. Only remaining row is here M1 and M4 only. M1 and M4 only. Two rows are remaining here. So in this machine, so who is the lower element? 15 and 12. So 12 is lower element. So here we write here M1. M1 is this side. Then move to the only remaining. Then this cross this line, cross this row, and the remaining element is here only M4. So I will write M4 in this situation. So the sequence of this problem is here M2, M1, M4, M5 and M3. These are the sequence of this problem. And then move to the next slide. How to schedule this? So here we draw two rectangles. First rectangle decide the workstation 1 and the second rectangle decide the workstation 2, right? First rectangle decide the workstation 1 and second decide the workstation 2 is here. So the what is required for this problem? The schedule minimizes the ideal time of workstation 2. Schedule is minimized the ideal time for workstation 2 and gives the fastest repair time for all 5 motors, and no other sequence will produce a lower mass make span, So for this purpose we using Gantt chart. For the Morris Machine Company repair schedule. Then for this companies, first you consider workstation 1. Here the minimum time is M2 for the 4. The sequence is here M2, M1, M4, only we follow this sequence only, right? So here is 4. So here I will denote 4 is here. Then if this job is not completed at this situation, this here is workstation 2 is here ideal time, right? 2 is here ideal time. Then this job is completed and this job move to here for the 5 hour, means workstation 2 first is completed, then it move to the it will move to the second workstation. Here is 5 also, and then 5 also. Then the which sequence for this job? M1 is the sequence. Here is time is here 12 hour. Then you fill here 12 hour in the Gantt chart, and then in the machine in the workstation 2, this completed this job only 5 hours. Then 5 to 7 hours, this is the ideal time. This is the ideal time. Then after 12 hour completed, this machine moved to the M4. This machine is moved to the M4. M4 time is here 15. So M4 time is 15. So this is the ideal time for this machine. If this job is completed, then I am taking this time here. I am taking this time here. So if 15 job is completed at this time, so here is machine is here is not any ideal time for this case. So this M1 is here 22 hours. So you denote here 22 hour for this case. If you denote here 22 hour, so then move to the, if 15 hour is completed, then move to the job 5. So here is, this is the 5, and 5 is denoted for the workstation is here represented as 10 hour. So here you represent here 10 hour in the Gantt chart, and then move to the machine M3, and M3 is required 5 hour more. Then here you mark 5 hour more. Then this job is completed after 22 hour. Then move to the M4 job. For the M4 job, here is 16 hour. Here is 16 hour. If 16 hour completed, then move to the which job? 5. M5 for this is a 8 hour. M5 8 hour, and M3 here 3 hour. M3 here 3 hour. These are the days, different types of days. And at this time, workstation one job is completed at this suppose 40 hour, but machining work is remaining for the workstation 2. At this time, this type of work, this type of time, this is a ideal time, or we can say the rest time for the worker. This is a ideal time available for the further work, right? So this is the Gantt chart for this question. So here sequence is M2, M1, M4, M5, M3, right? So these are the solution of your problem. This is the solution of this problem. So the maximum time for the workstation 2 is here 60, and here is 40 hour, right? So these are the this is not maximum time, this is a minimum time to complete this whole task. Means in 60 hour you can complete the whole task. Right? So this is a one more question. Just you write down this question, and then make this this is one more question also, and first you complete this sequence of this problem. Here is sequence is 3, 2, 4, 5 and 1. 3, 2, 4, 5, 1. These are the sequence of this problem is here. So you can solve this problem in your homework also, right? This is the Johnson's 3 machine rule, and for the convert the 2 machine problem to the 1 machine problem, it gives a M1 equal to A plus B or M2 equal to B plus C. Here is the different types of machine 1 and how to work in machine 1 and machine 2 also, right? There is schedule on 3 machine based on the sequence above, right? Then this is the different types of machine problem is here, and this is also a 3 machine problem for the classwork. Then move to the next section. This is the MCQ problem. This is the MCQ problem, and for this first you, for maximization in transportation method, the objective is to maximize the total profit is here. So C option is right. Then move to the next question. To find the optimal solution, we apply here. Find the optimal solution, we apply here. Which method you want to apply here? We apply here VM method, right? So B is the right answer for this question. Then move to the next question, question number 3, right? In MCQ problem third, if the total supply is less than the total demand, total supply, just to think about this question, if the total supply is less than the total demand, a dummy source row is included. A dummy source row is included in the cost matrix with less than the, then dummy supply is added, right? Dummy supply. So B is the right answer for this question. Then move to the question number 4. A given transportation is said to be unbalanced. Is said to be unbalanced if the total supply is not equal to the total demand. If the total supply is not equal to the total demand. So this is the right answer for this question. And here optimization, cost, and unobservable, all are the wrong answers, right? And then move to the next problem. The next problem is here 5. In a transportation problem, if the number of non-negative independent allocation, if the number of non-negative allocations is, means how much these are equal, equivalent, greater, less, or none of the above, then m plus n minus 1, then m plus n minus 1, these are equivalent, greater or less, equivalent, greater or less. So these are greater. So this is the right answer for this question. B is the right answer. And then move to the question problem, MCQ problem number 6. And what do we apply in order to determine the, what do we apply in order to determine the optimal solution? This is the B option is right is here, right? Then one can find the initial basic feasible solution by using VM method, right? So A answer is right for this case. A answer is right. Once the initial basic feasible solution has been computed, what the next step in the problem? Next step is for problem we can solve by the Modi modified distribution method, right? So this is the right answer. B is the right answer for this question is here. And this is the 9. This is a very easy question. VM stands for the Vogel's approximation method, Vogel's approximate method, and Wengel's approximation method, and Vogel approximation method. So this is the Vogel's approximation method. D is the right answer. for this question, right? And then move to the question number 10. The allocated cells in the transportation table are called allocated cells. These are called occupied cell, right? These are called the occupied cell. So means A answer is right. Then the reference, introduction of operation research. Operation research Taha and H.A. McLaren Publishing Company, and Foundation of Optimization. These are the reference books for this lecture. And then thanks for your attention, and I will discuss in this next lecture about the some problem related to the sequencing problem, right? Thank you all of you. Thank you.